Hi everyone, this is Notes 1.7. We have some real-life applications, basic and perimeter problems to solve today. So we better get right to work because we have a lot of word problems to do. Things to be mindful of. I'm just going to read through these things with you and highlight a few things. Things to be mindful of. Linear real-life applications have one variable. So you're only going to see an x. For example, x would represent the length and maybe the width would be twice that. So you would use one variable. Always define the variable. Define the variable like with a let statement. Never start an equation without defining the variable first. So basically those say the same thing. Always look for keywords for hints such as what you're going to do, like write an equation or write an inequality. Different types of linear real-life applications. We're going to look at basic, perimeter, Pythagorean theorem, consecutive integer problems, and coin problems. And then here's some steps to help you out. You're going to read the problem carefully, underlining anything you need to help you read it better. Define your variables, which means tell me what x represents. Sometimes draw a picture, make a table. Create an equation, or sometimes it'll be an inequality. Solve it and check. Make sure it makes sense. All right, here we go. Basic word problems we're going to start with. First, we're just going to set them up only, and then down at the bottom, we're going to solve algebraically. So setting them up, the first one has been set up for you. There's an example for you to look at. Steve is borrowing $1,000 from his parents to buy a notebook computer. He plans to pay them back at a rate of $60 per month. Dave is borrowing $600 from his parents to purchase a snowboard. He plans to pay his parents back at a rate of $5 per week. It says to write an equation, so right away I'm thinking about that symbol. And you want to determine after how many months, so that's why I let x be the number of months. And they want to have the same amount, so we want them to be equal to each other. This side of the equation represents the $1,000 that Steve borrowed. Oops, Stever, no, just Steve. And he's paying it back, so it's going subtracting $60 per month. This side of the equation represents Dave. What did Dave do? Started with $600, paying it back, so subtracting 5 every month. So 5 times the number of months. All right, example number 2. That one you have to look back at. Number 2. The cost of a pack of chewing gum in a vending machine is 75 cents. So that's the chewing gum. Cost of a bottle of juice, $1.50. Julia has $20 to spend on chewing gum and bottles of juice for her team, and she must buy 8 packs of chewing gum. 8 chewing gum. All right. If B represents, B is the variable we're going to use, the number of bottles of juice, I'm defining my variable, even though they did. So number of bottles of juice, write an inequality. So I'm going to write an inequality that represents the maximum number of packs of gum she can buy. Wait a minute. We already know she had to buy 8 packs of chewing gum. So I think it's supposed to say we're supposed to be finding the maximum number of bottles of juice. So that's a typo. Oh, well, moving on. Maximum number of bottles of juice she can buy. Okay, so she has 8 packs of gum, and each of those, if you read carefully, costs 75 cents. Plus, she has $1.50 she's going to spend on every bottle of juice. I didn't need those parentheses. I'm multiplying because it's per bottle of juice, and we want the maximum number of bottles that she can buy, but she only has $20, so she has to keep this less than or equal to her $20. She won't be able to go over 20. So you could multiply this together, but basically, this is what they wanted you to set up. Basic word problems. Okay, 320 tickets were sold at a school play. There were 3 times as many student tickets as adult tickets. So find the number of each type. We got student and adult, but they told me nothing about the adult tickets, so I'm using X to represent adult tickets. They told me there are 3 times as many student tickets as adult. So if I multiply that by 3, I get the student tickets. So right here is where I define my variables. When I add the student and the adult tickets together, I get an equation equal to 320 tickets. All right, we're saying we got to solve that. So we combine like terms, and then we divide it by 4. Divide by 4, and you would get 80. That tells me 80 adult tickets. And I used this 3 times, 80, to find out that there were 240 student tickets. I wanted each type of ticket, and that makes sense. I could double check and find out that they add to 320. A prom ticket at Smith High School is $120. Tom is going to save money for the ticket by walking his neighbor's dog for $15 a week, and he already saved $22. What's the minimum number of weeks? Oh, wait a minute. Something tells me I should use maybe W to represent number of weeks, because that's what I'm trying to find. That he must walk the dog in order to earn enough to pay for the prom ticket, so I need to make $120. He could make greater than or equal to $120, and he would cover the cost, right? So let's see how he's going to get there. Well, he already saved $22, plus he's going to make $15 every week. So 15 times the number of weeks. I need to solve this. So if you remember, you're going to subtract 22. Get your numbers over on the right-hand side. 15W is greater than or equal to 98. Oops, my pen's not working. That's a 98 when I subtract. Divide by 15 on both sides. To get W has to be greater than or equal to 6.53333, repeating, which means if I got to be greater than that, I'm going to go with 7 weeks. All right, next page. Perimeter word problem. So perimeter means add up all the sides. All the sides added together. Perimeter. So the first one has been done for you. The length of a rectangle is 20% more than its width. So I guess they didn't say this, but X is being used to represent width. And the length, they took 100% of the original plus an additional 20%, 120%. And when you move it away from the percent symbol, you divide it by 100, and you get 1.2 for your multiplier. So 1.2 times the width is going to be the length. So you might need to look back over that, but this is the labeling I need to do on my picture, the length and the width. This equation down here adds all 4 sides together. This is an X, this is a 1.2X. Add them all together and total 95. We're only setting these up. Question 6, the width of a rectangle is 5 less than double the length. So 5 less tells me to take 5 away. Double means multiply something by 2, and I'm multiplying the length by 2. All right, so X must be the length because I don't know anything about the length. And then the width would be 2 times that, take 5 away. And that's the width. I always like to draw a little picture and label my sides, X and 2X minus 5. All right, then it says the perimeter is at most, and I need to write an inequality. So at most. The perimeter means add up all the sides. 2x minus 5 plus 2x minus 5. And it's at most, so it would be less than or equal to 220. Think about that. If 220 is the most, you're going to be less than or equal to that. So that can be used for, okay, so I'm trying to find the dimensions. Trying to find the x and the 2x minus 5. But I don't have to solve, so that's all I needed to do. Oh, good. Next question. This one has been done for you. If you read it carefully, you'll see where the 7x minus 2 came from. 2 centimeters less take 2 away, 7 times the width. So x is representing the width, and 7 times that, and take away 2, would be the length. Okay, so we're doing perimeter, and my equation should represent everything adding up to 60. And up here, I told me we need to solve these. So if you look, we solved, and we came up with 2 answers with the units labeled. All right, question 8. The width of a cornfield is 20 meters more than the length. I don't know anything about the length of the field, so 20 meters more would be that plus 20. There's the width. Perimeter is 142. So the x plus another x plus an x plus 20 plus another x plus 20 is going to total 142 meters. They're just looking for the length, so I only need to find x. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 x's, and a 20 plus a 20 is a 40, equals 142. Subtract the 40 over the other side, combining like terms, sorting. I got 102, and I'm going to divide by 4. And I get 25.5. X equals 25.5. That was meters, and that was the length. So you could say 25.5 meters long. All right, that would be it. Thank you very much for joining me.